Howdy everyone, Holly from Enjoy the Journey Dog Training, out here with Mr. Bruno. We're just working on shaping his heel, and I wanted to demonstrate for you a couple things you could do at home with your dog to make yourself more relevant as their handler and their leader. Mr. Bruno, who's paying attention to the Amazon guy, yes, is on his Hermspringer prong collar, and we're going to use that for directional guidance. But more importantly, I'm going to use myself as the best tool to help him be aware of where I'm at, what I'm doing, and what I'd like him to do. So a couple things that I'll demonstrate here is our claim it, where we can use spatial pressure to demonstrate to the dog his position or her position, yes, and to pay attention to me as the handler. Then we'll also talk about directional changes, pace changes, frequent stops and sits, all these little things that you can do to really become relevant to your dog and making sure that they are attuned to you on the walk. Yes. Boy. And then we again can begin to shape the heel or the position we want them at on a normal structured walk. A couple of little knowledge nuggets I'll point out. When you are on a structured walk or a thinking walk, as you might hear me refer to them as, there's no sniffing, no marking, obviously no lunging, barking, getting all silly chasing rabbits or staring at other dogs through the fence. This is a thinking walk. This is an intentional time for you to communicate with your dog and get some exercise in. There'll be plenty of time to stop along the way to go potty and get your sniffs in. But this is really about helping your dog focus on you as the handler and as their leader and looking to you for guidance and being really relevant to your dog when you're out and about. This is just a foundational thing. Again, we're going to get him through on his prong collar. Yes. All right, so let's go. First thing I'll demonstrate to you is you notice he gets way ahead. I could be popping him like this on the prong collar and kind of shaping it back that way, but I want him to make a better choice. I want him to think about his position and what's most comfortable for both of us. And so one of the things I'll do is a claim it exercise. We'll see if he'll do it again. My leash is nice and loose. Prong collar is nice and loose. But if he gets out ahead of me, we'll demonstrate this. I'm going to do what's called claim it. I'm going to square off with him, not pulling up. I'm just holding my leash in front of me. And then I'm going to walk into him until he turns the other way. See if we can do that again. Let's go. Not naming this heel yet. So now he's kind of going more at my pace, right? Don't worry if you bump into your dog. He'll be fine. She won't cry. Square off, and pretty soon we're going to get a dog who is already paying attention to my leg here and knowing when to move before I get in his space. Yes, and I'm marking that. Hopefully you saw that. This time I'm going to turn into him, or turn away from him, excuse me, that was into him. So notice he's a little bit more behind and out of my way. One more time. Yes. So I'm marking that. When I name it, I'll start naming it on the turn. So now we're going to go this way. As I make that turn, he's kind of lagging behind, so I give him a little pop. Right there. Just to say, hey, this way, buddy. Again, speaking through my prong collar. Yes. As soon as he gives me what I want, that he came before there was any tension on the prong collar, I marked it with a yes. Yes. Good. His tummy's hurting him a little bit today, so I'm not giving any food reward. Yes, so he's paying attention to me. I've got his attention. So hopefully that demonstrates, first of all, the claim it, kind of some spatial pressure to make yourself more relevant to your dog. Get that communication open between the two of you. A couple other things you can do is pace changes. I love these. Just tells you, is your dog with you or somewhere else, especially when you're out on this nice windy day, lots of rabbits. So we're going to walk quickly. Directional changes, right? But then I'm going to go really annoyingly slow. Is he still getting ahead of me? No. Yes. He's even giving me these little auto check-ins. I don't teach look or focus per se. It just naturally begins to occur when they're paying attention to you. they're pack animals, so they're always looking for who's guiding, who's leading, and without that guidance, they're going to get into trouble. So let's do that again. Again. Yes. Leash is nice and loose. I want him to make these choices. This is going to prepare us for off leash. Yes. All right. So pace changes. Annoyingly slow, fast. Get him to lag up. If he's lagging, you can get him up with you by a little bit of directional guidance with your leash. And then, yes, marking it. I don't have to reward it right after. I'm just marking it with a little yes. Watch where you're going. Directional changes. I love doing S turns, or S walks rather. Serpentine up the road. Keep it interesting. Don't be boring. You'll have more fun too on your walks if you do that. Get off your phones, right? Pay attention to the beautiful day. Well, we're going to work on having a default sit. Yes. Every time we come to a stop. Yeah, good boy. Let's go.